Drop it.
And what's going on, team? John, good morning. Spasto Kinetic, good morning. Mike D, good morning. Alex, Dr. Bob, Gerald, Stock Girl, Cody, Moto, Drew, Romeo, Johnny Boy, Chocolate Bear, how you doing, boo-boo? Daily Taylor, Navin, yeah, interesting name. I like the name. Dan the Man, Gerardo, of course. Angel Spooky, good morning, Depon. All right, so let's get right into it. We got no time to waste here. Okay, actually, I was in a trade. I was profitable. Now I'm negative. What we're going to do is we're actually going to trade, guys. We're going to be playing with NQ. We're going to be playing with ES. And if I don't see a play, then, of course, I'll go ahead and assist you on whatever else you may be looking at. All right, so let's get right into it. We have the golden eye play here, right? And the thing is, I had my entry, it was perfect, I was up 180 bucks, and then we do the live stream, hit my stop. I'm not worried about it, guys. You know, losing is part of the game, right? The thing is you have to be willing to lose in order to win, right? But you also have to be able to follow the trade designs, especially with futures. You got to be able to follow it, right? It's telling you, okay, according to your risk, this is how much you need to buy. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm actually going to adjust my risk here. Let's see, we're going over to my GoldenEye master settings, and we see I am risking $1,000 per trade. That is something I'm comfortable risking. That's 0.5% of my port size. So you generally don't want to risk any more than 1% of total. Now, for those who are doing the funded trader route, in order to pass those examinations, you do have to play with 10% allocations. But of course, you are proactively managing your trades as the trade is working in your favor. But in the real world, with real money, your money, you are going to want to risk 1% per trade. And that is going to help you with your psychology, okay? Let's get right back into it. So I did, in fact, get stopped out. In this example, do I chase it once again into the trade design? No, I already got stopped out. What I can, in fact, do is go ahead and say, okay, at this entry price right here, I am going to set a sell. Okay, now if price action comes back down to this level, then I will go ahead and execute that trade. If it doesn't, I simply close out that position, and then set up another entry point for GoldenEye to the upside. What this prevents you from doing at all times is chasing into the trade design. Okay, I see a lot of people who are still chasing, still saying like, man, you know, I didn't catch the move, I'm late to the move. Well, you could go ahead and set your sell stop limits or your buy limits, okay, and just let the trade come to you. This is something we talk about all the time, is let the trade come to you. For those who are trading options, using our strategy trading options, you also want to be able to let the trade come to you, okay? And what you're doing is you're looking at fair value option price on your options chain versus what the actual ticker is doing. This is going to make sure that you get your fill as the trade is going in your favor, right? So we go back to the chart here, and I am filled here. It came down, it filled me. Now I'm up 270 bucks, 75 bucks, right? I'm going to go ahead and set my stop here. Now, this is a B setup. I should suspect that it's going to bounce off of this, right? I should suspect that. So I'm just going to go ahead and set my stop. at or about right there at the top of the trade design. And I'm not going to manage the trade. Okay? I am not going to micromanage the trade. In fact, oftentimes what I like to do is set it and forget it. You cannot control what the candle is going to do, but you can absolutely control your risk. And in this example, I clearly have a one-to-one right here, right? 735. You guys are watching this. 600. Okay, 690. I now have the liberties to go ahead and bring my stop to break even, right? And if it stops me out, it stops me out, right? I'm okay with it. What I'm trying to do is live in the trend. We got to break up the 24. We do have the one-to-one currently up $555. You know what? We're looking at now. This is some things that we have to consider here. We're looking at RSI. I'm looking at RSI. I see it pivoting up, right? I see the moving average coming on down. I have Heikin-Ashi. I have parabolic SAR. I'm making my very simple reads here, and this is what's going to allow me to stay in a trade. Now, for some of you, you want to go ahead and trade on the 1 minute, and I get it, right? These wicks, they freak you out. But I'm telling you guys, as long as you're playing with proper position sizing and risk management, as you see, I am managing the trade right now. I do have a one-to-one, right? Okay, let's look at this here. Guys, you're watching it in real time. I am up $1,245. Listen, okay, if you are in the markets and you made over $1,000 on your first trade, and mind you, okay, the market just opened, right? We're in this, what, 10 minutes, 5 minutes since market open? You know what? Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, where do I take my profit? I got it going down to a 2-to-1 right here, right? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I know my one-to-one is going to leave me profitable. I've now managed my trade. We're now at a one-to-one. She is clearly coming on down. She broke this level here. I see the 48. We know the rules with the 48, right? So what I'm going to do is, because we have this level here, I am now going to bring my stop down to the bottom of this zone. Okay, now we got to break up the 48. Okay, we got to break up the 48. I am now up $2,000. We see the 200 right there. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and manage this. I'm bringing my stop down to the 48. Okay, I'm up $2,400, approaching the 200 EMA. We suspect that at all times, the 200 EMA, we're going to witness a bounce. Well, as it stands right now, we got some penetration. We got some penetration. Oh, by the way, Teresa, I see you tonight at 7:30 for our one-on-one. All right, baby girl? All right, let's go ahead and do this. We're back in the trade. We're trading live. We're not holding back, okay? We got our 3 contracts. We entered here. You guys are seeing this in real time. You're watching me manage the trade. Normally, like I said, I like to set and forget, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it to the 200 right there. Right? You stop me out at the 200, I have a over $2,000 day. Done. Wait. 3 contracts and Q. You made it happen. You made over $2,000 on that trade. We followed the system. Go deny for the win. We knew, pertaining to the rules, we knew that the 200 is going to be an area where price action is always going to bounce from. What I'm saying here, guys, is just because you have GoldenEye, which is an incredible tool, guys, this thing's going to make me stupid fucking rich. Like, it's just stupid rich. Okay, next level rich. I'm getting there. I'm going there. It's happening, right? But the thing is that just because we have GoldenEye there, doesn't mean we throw 1348 out the windows. We know it's still about levels, okay? We know it's still about the EMAs. We know it's still about risk management. You see what I'm saying? All right, everyone following along here? Who's following along? Am I making sense? Can I get thumbs up if I'm making sense to you guys? Right? Everyone is just so fixated on, I just need one thing to make me profitable. And it's never one thing to make you profitable. You have to have context always of the trade. You have to have context of your levels. You have to have context of the EMAs. This is why we've been teaching you guys levels and EMAs for well over 2 years. What we've done with GoldenEye is giving you a viable entry. It's giving you a highly probable entry. Okay? Now, again, guys, this is algorithms. This is just that's what we created for you. It's just algorithms to help you understand, okay, yeah, should I get in? Okay, give me some context. Is this a B setup? Yes, it's a B setup. Why is it a B setup? Because we're going against the overall trend, right? We are bullish courtesy of this trend. Now, does price have an obligation to continue the trend? No, it does not. You have an obligation to go ahead and get context of the real estate on your screen. You have an obligation to risk management, and you have an obligation to see it through. That is it. And I know when I say I keep it simple and let's keep it simple, guys, it's like you're scratching your head like, Dave, this ain't simple. The reason why it's not simple for a lot of you is because, well, you're either overthinking or you don't have proper context as to what you're doing, right? It's kind of like telling a lineman, okay, this is how you put up a block, right? Get your hands under the pads, right? And if they're just going through the motions, but they're not really understanding why they're going through the motions, they would never be a good lineman. And that's why the New York Giants have an offensive line problem, right? That's Wreck-It Ralph. Really, really good point there. And then we take it another step. Jumping time frames. Okay. Jumping time frames. Let me show you guys something. So this is NQ on the 5-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute. Right? The 15-minute showing you an entirely different trade design here. Entirely. It's the same trade design, but no. I played it to the downside, whereas, the 15, now it's telling me to take it to the downside. You see how it's flickering, right? Let's go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is telling us, and we wait for this to load, right? This is a trade to the upside. The 4 hour. Now, if you guys are going to get context to a trade, right? If you're going to look at another time frame outside of your primary time frame, you do not go more than more than 4 to 6 times out, right? So a lot of you are going to the 4 hour to try to get context of the 5-minute, and that time frame is just way too large. You're probably better off going to the 30-minute. But you see here, the 4 hour does give us context as to the general trend for those who are swinging. Now, it doesn't have to be NQ. It could be the Qs. It could be Tesla. What are we looking at here? Let's do Tesla. What is Tesla doing? Okay, Tesla. Guys, Wreck-It Ralph. Bro, look at this. You swinging Tesla here, you would have gotten paid. Wow, right? Let's go to the daily and see the daily giving us context as to general direction that it's going. Now, we go to the 5-minute, and we got a different story here on the 5-minute, do we? Yes, we got a different story. So, the point is, when you're taking a trade, you have to ask yourself in that moment in time, what is the trade telling me to do, right? Now, if the 4 hour and the daily is conflicting, what the 4 hour and daily is telling you is that the overall trend is going one direction. Maybe that would clue you in that, hey, on the 5-minute, I'm going to play the overall trend that's it's showing me on the 4 hour and the daily, right? I check 4 hour and the 1 hour for levels, but not trend. Danny Mitch, you're doing it wrong. If you want levels, you got to go to the 15. The 4 hour levels and the 1 hour levels, they're just way too big, bro. You need to go to the 15, get yourself those intermediate levels, and then trust the levels that are printed on the 5-minute. Done. Don't overthink it. Now, Wreck-It Ralph says, remember those Friday puts from last week for 2 weeks out? Yep. I made money today. Ooh, Ralphie boy. Good stuff, man. Okay, now let's get right back to it. I want to go on over to ES, right? We played the Qs. Now let's go ahead and look at ES. So ES gave us a trade design. Once again, this is a highly profitable trade design here, okay? You had 6 contracts here. Your 1-to-1 would have paid you $900. Your 2-to-1, 1,800. This gave you a 3-to-1. That is $2,700 off of 6 contracts. Off of 6 contracts. Now, let me change this. I'm not going to do $1,000 because a lot of you are saying, well, Gabe, it's easier to make money when you got money, and I find that quite alarming because it's true. The more money you have, the easier it is to make money. This is true. The problem is that when you have a smaller port, what's messing you up is your own psychology. What you're doing is creating undue stress for your port size. If you have a $5,000 port, don't go ahead and think like I need to make $1,000 with this $5,000 port. It doesn't work that way, right? If you get a 1-2% gain on it, on a $5,000 port, you made $100 on the day, right? Right? Now, there's just something that I shared with Hot Potato yesterday. I want you guys to take this note down. Wreck-It Ralph, see if you agree with me on this one, right? If you want to create wealth, you have to do it at the port level, not the trade level. A singular trade is not going to make you rich, right? But those trades, right, when they come up to the port level and as your port is growing, that's what's going to build wealth and that's what's going to make you rich. Right. And this is why prop firms are so enticing. This is why they exist in the market because people may or may not have that availability to cash. And speaking of prop firms, there's a birdie in my ear that says that we're about like 6 to 8 weeks out, maybe, possibly, just of having our own. Yeah, I'm smiling at that one. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's really how much stress you're putting on your trade, right? Because your port size is too small, right? Your expectations. Expect, especially as a beginner trader, right? Expect your emotions to get the best of you. It's gonna happen. How much are your resets? Asking for a friend. Don't have the pricing and the schematics down, right? But there are a few individuals or companies that we will do. Sort of kind of like interviewing on turnkey solutions. It's gonna be fun. But anyways, as a trader, psychologically, you got to practice that muscle, right? It's kind of like going to the gym. I don't look at my port balance as an influence on my trade. That's why I have a different port sizes for different types of trades and time frames. Hey, that is another that's a different way of looking at it, right? But for me, I build my wealth at the port level, not at the trade level. That was $2,300 that I made. Is that gonna make me rich today? No. A series of trades that build up my port so that tomorrow I can have a larger allocation, even if it's ever so slightly, allows me to progressively build my port over time. That's the way I'm looking at it. Then you get to a point where your port size, right, naturally grows and then allows you to spoil yourself. If your port size is 5,000, right, 10,000, 20,000, I think your goal should be get your port size to 50K. And only then will you or should you start spoiling yourself, right? So $50,000, a 1% allocation is going to be $500. You hit a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1 on those trades. You made a cool $1,000. All right, cool, right? That's it. That's my point. Wreck-It Ralph. The wealth will come from consistent success. Yes, not from one individual trade. He has a series of trades that builds his wealth. That's all I'm telling you guys, right? And something else that I shared with Hot Potato. Hot Potato, are you here? Are you here in the live stream? Now, I spend way too much time with this man. It's almost like he could damn near be my boyfriend at this point, right? Ew. But um, the point I'm making here is, if you're in this solely for money, right? You got a rude awakening happening, right? Because just like I shared with Hot Potato yesterday, just because you're making money doesn't make you a good trader. It doesn't. And that is the biggest fallacy to all, especially newbies who get into this game. Just because you're making money doesn't make you a good trader at all, right? And so, but when you're a good trader, you make the money. And I sort of kind of want to go back to the story where my friend Scott calls me middle of the night, loses $1 million overnight, drunk as fuck, right? I'm just like, well, that's you, Scott, million, just totally out of character for him, right? And while I heard his fucking sob story and I heard this, that, and the other, know what advice I gave him? Get it back. I didn't even say you're gonna get it back. Like, hey, bro, you're gonna get it back. No, that's me empathizing. What I told him was a directive. It was an order. Go get it back. Meaning, you're a good trader. You know what you have to do. Just go get it back. It was a directive, right? Now, for someone who's not a good trader, you have to be a little more empathetic, right? If you're gonna get it back, it's okay, right? Stick to the rules. That kind of thing, right? And the thing is that there's got to be a point in your journey as a beginner trader where you stop looking for that empathy and that compassion and that confirmation bias for you fucking up, right? But you have to ask yourself at all times is, do I have the skill set, right, to get it back, right? Now, if you all were in the markets, right, and you're making 500 a day, 1,000 a day, whatever, just do anything, right? You know what's the biggest test? Right? Losing 20,000 in a day. If that fucks you up, you're not there yet. Well, if you lose $20,000 in a day, you're not there yet. Right? John Cashola, absolutely. The skill set plus the self-control. Right? DM Ohio, done that. He's laughing at it. DM Ohio, along with Wrecker Ralph, are two resident wells in the community. And DM Ohio knows that, right? It's like, yeah, well, fuck, I lost $20,000. And you don't dwell on it, right? Because it is, you're a trader. It's part of the game and it happens. I mean, I lost $250,000 with NVIDIA, right? It stung, turned my stomach, but I'll get it back. It's what I signed up for, right? It's what I signed up for. So because I believe I'm a good trader, I tell myself, all right, I'm going to get it back. And some of you will say, well, that's revenge trading. Well, it becomes revenge trading if there's emotion behind that. But if there is an emotion, and I promise you guys, over time, you will become numb to this. You're numb inside. This is just what you do. All right. So, yeah, we all have a bad day at work as well. You move on, you get better. That's it. Okay. But anyways, we go back to trading here. And so we got ES and we still have the trade design to the downside, right? Now, I did not catch ES, so where would my entry have been? Well, you could see I have levels here on the zone BJ key levels. If you guys are interested in using BJ key levels, I highly recommend it, right? You have look left 75, look right 10, and then extend to right. You want extend to right, show level labels, align zones, right? You get those settings, you're good to go. So how do I move the trade design? Well, if you are playing futures, you can simply slide it, right? So what we're seeing here is a bounce off the 48. We're seeing that with ES, right? Now, what are the rules? What are the rules of the EMAs? Right? A lot of the times you guys find yourself getting caught in chop or, just having to trade just totally work against you, right? And you're like, fuck, but GoldenEye told me to get in. The question is, do you have context to the trade, right? Do you have context to it? And sometimes before the trade could even chop you out, you're like, let me see, is there a level right there? Okay, there's a level right there. Okay. I actually worked with No Name, Jim. He's in the Discord. We did a one-on-one yesterday. We actually did an ES play. And there was a condition of which I wanted right? I wanted to enter a trade, okay? So, in something like this, right? We get a trade design here, and you get your entry point here. Now, I see the box right here, right? At 4346, right? Now, I have a couple of ways to play this. I can say, all right, well, I'm going to play it right to the top of the box, right? And be super, super disciplined, maybe even to this level here, 43, 47, 75, right here. That's a level. Super disciplined, and just play right to that box and be done. Or I could say, I will wait for a break of the zone. I will set my entry at the break of the zone, and then wherever it goes is wherever it goes. Now, we also know the 48 is there, right? We got to respect the 48. So that's probably where I would take profit right there at the 48. Now, in this example here, right, we have a trade design to the upside. Now, our entry right here happens to be right inside this box. Right inside the box. Interesting. Okay, this represents a challenge. So, what I'm going to do in this instance, I'm going to buy. I am going to buy when it gets to the top of this box. If it gets to the top of this box. Now, having that much restraint, because I have context of the chart, I'm now practicing restraint. I'm not going to go ahead and just willy-nilly into the trade. I'm going to say, okay, market, you want to play? Let's play, but on my conditions. And my conditions are if you break to the top of the box. Of course, the market had other plans. Now, if someone went ahead and just willy-nillied into that trade design, you would have gotten hurt. Right or wrong? By the way, who finds the stream helpful? Because this was No Name Jim's recommendation. That he said, I feel myself and the broader community will actually learn more by watching you trade and hearing you talk things out. And, maybe Hot Potato, I wish you were here because this was also his recommendation last night, is show them, right? Give them insight. People, I get it. You learn from watching others. I get it. Okay. Okay. Right. So now we're back here. And I have my conditions set right there. I'm not going to play with it. I'm not eager. I am not eager to break to break my trade design. I am not eager to chase this any which way. I'm definitely not. What I can do, if we get a trade design to the downside, I can then go ahead and create an order for it, right? Right at my entry, it comes, it hits my entry, and I go ahead and make money. But as it stands right now, I'm just sitting up here waiting for it. I am not chasing this thing into chop. I am not chasing this thing into, well, how do you guys say it? How do you guys say it? Death by 1,000 cuts. Yes, death by 1,000 cuts. We don't want that, right? So we always have to set our very own terms and conditions. And we let the market know that we are in control. Because boys and girls, there's two elements to a trade. There's a part you can control and there's a part you can't control. And the part that you can't control is a very, very big part. It's candles. It's momentum, it's volume. You can't control the billions of other dollars that are coming in and moving the goddamn thing. You can't control that. All you can do is control your risk management and setting up your conditions where you feel the trade makes the most sense. Everything else, you have no control over. Right? A lot of people say like trading or day trading is one of the hardest things you could do. And I'd agree, right? And the reason why is one of the hardest things you could do, the hardest things you could do, is because you're constantly enticed by the opportunity to make money. That's why it's the hardest thing you could ever fucking do. You're constantly enticed by the opportunity to make money. right? You get a trade design to the downside, you're like, woo, I'm gonna willy-nilly, I'm gonna go ahead and chase this down. I'm gonna make money, right? And you know what? That is, right? It's the wrong way. It is absolutely the wrong way, right? The question you should be asking is how much I can lose on this trade. How much do I stand to lose on this trade? That is the right question all the time. Your focus should always be on risk management. The money happens after. Remember, um, we talk about how you need to focus on not losing money. So when you focus on not losing money, the opposite is true, right? And so here we are. What do you guys see happening here with ES? This is a bounce off the 48, a bounce off the 13, right? Ooh, what would you guys call this in market talk? You guys would call this chop. Oh, it's chopping me up. It's chopping me up, right? Now, I have to go ahead, excuse me here, guys. I had 15 contracts there when it should have been one. So let me change that to one. Yeah, I'm going right by the trade designs here. I'm going to change this to one here, right? And I'm going to stay put. I'm going to stay put. So I'm going to place my order there with one contract. And John Alvarez, absolutely, it's an EMA sandwich. Absolutely, right? So what's happening here is absolute chop. Hymns. Oh boy. Man, those guys must be killing it, by the way. But anyways, going back to this. Does there look like there's any opportunity here? No. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're simply gonna wait. I have my order sitting right there. One contract. I get it filled, I set my stop, and there we go. We got the order filled. So now I'm simply going to set my stop. And that's gonna be right here. I set my stop. That's my stop. And I'm just gonna let it do what it's gonna do, right? Now, I'm not fretting over this money lost, right? Why am I not fretting over the money lost? Because, well, one, I just made like 2,300 bucks, right? But I'm also following the contract design, which is one, which, I know for a fact it's going to allow me to properly position or allocate without stressing me the fuck out, right? Remember, we go back into GoldenEye here, and I changed my max loss per trade to 300. Okay, so losing 300 bucks on this trade is really not going to stress me out, right? And if I go ahead and I lose 3 trades in a row, that's $900 lost. I'm still up on the day over $1,000. That's when I go ahead and say, I'm done. I'm out. My name is Corey. What platform is this? This is actually TradingView, and I have it connected to my TradeAvate account, right? I love TradingView. Super simple for me, and I get to see my trade designs right on the chart. No need for multiple screens, right? And sometimes I feel like multiple screens just, I don't know how some people do it. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I know Du Bois has the ultimate multi-screen setup, but for me, I'm just like, I'm playing what's there, right there, what's in front of me. That's it. Anyways, so I got stopped out. Woohoo! Right? Woohoo! I got stopped out. So Wreck-It Ralph says, here comes the volatility. Great. Now, what I'm doing is waiting for the trade design to the downside. I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I put my entry right where it needed to be, which was on the top of the box, right? I was okay with risking 300 bucks because that's what I'm risking on the trade, right? Again, very, very, very small relative to my port size. So it doesn't bother me psychologically. Next trade, please. That's what I'm saying here. That's all I'm thinking here. Now, where's the trend going? Well, the trend is going down. You see, RSI broke below its moving average. It also broke below here on 50, right? Parabolic SAR, etc., 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 right? Got parabolic SAR and Heikin-Ashi. And of course, you got these check marks here saying it's a no-go. Okay. Now, some of you who are actually watching this would actually ask me, well, Gabe, why'd you take that trade if nothing was in alignment? Ta-da! Nothing was in alignment. So the probability of this trade was unlikely, but I didn't chase into it. I just had a condition of which the market would come to me. And let's shoot my shot. I'm going to shoot my shot. That's it. Shoot my shot, manage my risk. So now, here we go. We have another trade design here. I'm going to sell. Okay. I'm going to sell here. The trade comes into my design. It catches. I'm good. Now I'll go ahead and set my stop. If that in fact happens, I'll be right here ready for my stop. Right? Let's see if we go ahead and catch this. And that's it. I'm just waiting. Didn't come to me. Doesn't happen. Right? Does that mean I'm going to chase this to the upside? No, it does not mean that. Right? We see here now. Look at all this chop here. This is all chop. By virtue of, again, having context of what's going on and setting conditions for your entry and being conservative with your entry and not chasing into just every opportunity presented. Again, having context. It's what's going to keep you profitable. And this is what a good trader does, right? Just because you took a trade, let me show you something. This is fun. All right, let's go to the 1 minute. Right? Anyone playing the 1 minute? You get this, wee, then you get this, and it's like wee, right? And it's like this shit is not sustainable for me. Totally not sustainable. Right? But you can see clearly here on the 1 minute, you're getting chopped up too. Right? So just because you don't see opportunity on the 5 doesn't mean you go on over to a different time frame to try to create that opportunity for yourself. And that's what a lot of you guys end up doing too. And then what you end up telling yourself, oh, I get scared of the wicks on the 5. Oh, I'm constantly getting stopped out. You're validating your fucked up behavior. And then you just jump on a time frame and jump a different time frame. And then that time frame ends up just magnifying the problem, because the problem isn't the time frame. The problem isn't the strategy. The problem is your self-control. Right? So here we go. We hit the entry here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my stop. This is one contract. That's a one contract entry. I'm simply going to set my stop here. Right? Done. And we're going to let this trade design do what it has to do. Now I've shot my shot. Now, one of the things that I see here, right? One thing you guys could see here, we're out of EMA prison, right? And if we zoom out, we do have a box here. So now I have awareness of this trade. I'm going to draw that level right there. So I have awareness of the trade now. Okay. Now, you're probably looking at this like, well, Gabe, you're only up 37 bucks. Well, what about those tens of thousands that you normally make? Well, I'm only playing with one contract. And what I'm trying to highlight is that this is absolutely doable no matter where you are in the spectrum of port size, right? It is absolutely doable. So what I've done is I set the condition of my entry away from the EMAs and away from potential levels. We do have this level here. So again, that is an expectation. That is an expectation of myself. Like we get to this level, I will go ahead and have my finger on the trigger really, really quick, and I would simply cancel or close the position, and I would do so green, right? This is all I'm looking at. But I'm also paying attention to something else here. You got your moving average trending down. You got your RSI pivoted down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 check marks in the trade, right? We have Heikin coming on down, parabolic SAR trending down, right? I know where my stop is. I'm just going to trust the system and the process, and I'm going to do my best not to manage the trade. I don't want to micromanage the trade. I do know where there's a particular level to the downside, which we see right here. But while it's doing this, right, bouncing in, I'm not managing the trade. I'm not moving my stop for it to stop me out. I'm not doing anything. I am just going to let the trade be the trade. Now, why is that? Well, just like I'm going to win, I'm also going to lose. But I can't let my losing trades create those bad habits that then restrict my winning trades. Let me say that one more time. If I lose, I lose, but I cannot develop behaviors for fear of losing to become habit forming where I end up restricting my winning trades. Right? Existing home sales lowest since banking crisis of 2010. Ooh, we in for it. We are in for it. Okay. So going back to this, I got stopped out. I didn't manage to trade or anything. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back here and I'm going to have my sell order waiting for it once again. Should it come back down? Right? Should we get that rejection from the 200 and come back down? I'm going to give it another shot. That's it. Right? Give it another shot. If it doesn't fill me here and then we get a trade design to the upside, I go ahead and take that shot as well. But as I said, I'm not going to micromanage a trade because I'm losing, because I don't want to develop the bad habits that will restrict my winning trades. And when you develop those bad habits that restrict your winning trades, right? When you develop those bad habits that restrict your winning trades, you're in for a world of hurt because you're going to end up selling too fast. You're going to end up, your risk to reward gets flipped on its head. Okay? That's what's happening, right? You don't want that happening to yourself. You stay disciplined and you stick to your plan every single time. Just every single time, right? Am I making my sense myself clear? I really hope so. I mean, again, I feel like a crazy man on the other side of the camera, right? Frank B says, "Man, you're on point with that." Yes, this is all trader psychology, right? Um, so that's it. You lose fast, whatever, right? You're gonna play the same way every single setup and every single trade. Every single trade, you're gonna play it the same way. Let me make another point, right? Let's say you are in winning trades, and you're conditioned that in your winning trades, you're hitting 5 to 1s. Are you going to reinforce that behavior? That you're like, damn, you know what? I'm getting in this trade. I know that I'm going to hit a 5 to 1. Are you going to reinforce that behavior? Sure as hell you will, right? Can I get thumbs up here? You're going to reinforce that behavior knowing that you get into a trade, you're going to hit 5 to 1 every single time? Stream went silent here. Of course. Now Moto, he says what? Is it a trick question? No. Would you reinforce the behavior that if you see yourself taking trades and you're hitting 5-to-1 every single time, you're going to reinforce that behavior. You're going to be like, well, wait, I'm hitting my 5-to-1s. I'm good. Right? Okay, cool. Now, if you're reinforcing bad behavior because you're scared of winning, do you think you'll ever become a profitable trader? So make sure you stick to the habits that are neutral and consistent so that when you have that opportunity to enter a winning trade, you simply do so, and that winning trade can work wonders for your portfolio. But if you're going to manage your winning trades like you do your losing trades, guess what? You're just losing all the way the fuck around. You're just losing all the way around. Okay, so I missed this, right? I was waiting for it to come here. I missed it in part because I'm just shooting the shit with the guys and hopefully just making my point. But this would have been a profitable trade. So if you had a trade design and you had your limit order sitting right here, you had your 1-to-1. Let's go ahead and see if NQ is providing some opportunity here because ES is just really, really slow here. So NQ just once again broke this trade design, gave you the 1-to-1. But I want you to pay very, very close attention to this entry. This entry was just above a level, just above this box, right? If you front ran this entry here, you ran the risk of getting rejected by the 48, the 24, and the 13, and then this box here, this level, right? You see what's happening up here. Oh no, oh no, oh no, the market's manipulated. No, there's a box right here. There's a level right here. You had context of the market, so if you had your entry and you knew this box was up here, this was a level, then you're going to go ahead and set your sell. You're going to sell somewhere here in this zone to secure that bag. Wreck-It Ralph says CL might give you more chances this morning. Well, we're going to go ahead and check out CL. I haven't quite really mastered CL's cadence yet. I haven't really paid much of attention to it, but I love me some NQ. So, all right. Let's see what it does. Is it going to bounce off of 15067? You know what? We're looking at this. Got this level here. You got that 200 there. Okay. So this is what I'm probably going to do. Wait for a trade design and take an entry after the break of that 200 there. That's probably what I'm going to do. Right? Let's see if we get a trade design to the downside. Jenny G's and CL. Woohoo! Now we do have a Let's Rock happening right here, right? Let's see. I could go ahead right here. I'm going to set a buy, right? I'll buy here if it comes back up. If it doesn't, it just doesn't, right? Okay, we're in. We're in. So now I'm just going to go ahead and set my stop. I'm going to set my stop right here. But because I have the box right there, that level, I can afford to make my stop super tight because I do have that level there. I do have this box. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to leave it there. If it stops me out, it stops me out. It is literally right there, getting ready to stop me out. It's chop. Okay. Now, this is where I say, I'm done for the day. I was profitable. I'm not chasing profits anymore. I'm a good trader. I'm not chasing profits. I'm looking for good setups. And what the market has shown me this morning is it's choppy, and there's not any good setup. So a good trader then recognizes I quit while I'm ahead at this point. I'll go ahead and revisit the market at a later point in the day and see if there's opportunity, right? Or I could go ahead and say, I'll take this entry right now, right? And I'm back in there. Now, why did I take it? Why did I take this entry? Because you had RSI break above its moving average. You have your Heikinashi here printing green here. It is in fact Chop City, but I got that break of the RSI right there, right? Just gonna go ahead and shoot my shot. It came right back to the entry. But then after this, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm done for the day. You can be done for the day. Just call it a day, right? Let's go ahead and I have to set my stop where I could just go ahead and kill the trade here, right? Potentially, I have all the way to down here to set that stop. Potentially, because I nailed my entry. So, coming on down, are we going to get the bounce? We're in this zone. Is it going to bounce from this zone? We're just going to go ahead and shoot a shot. Can't control the candles? You can control your risk. Okay, so Powell speaks at noon. Okay, so what's happening here on this trade? There's a couple of things that I have here that I'm looking at. It's coming down to the 200. Does it bounce off the 200? This is NQ. Does it bounce off the 200? Is it going to give me that much, right? I know I have all the way down to, there you go. You got a break of the 200 right there. So we close that trade, right? Really that simple. And so this tells me I'm done. I'm going to go ahead, wait for another moment in the market or another opportunity, right? But what I'm also seeing here, this is actually fun. Here we go. Let me see. What I'm also seeing here is if we get a break of that 200, things could get really, 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 really spicy. It could. So I think everybody's like waiting for that, right? But then again, we are in a bull, right? 1348 cross up, right? We do have the 200 supporting. That this is, and I'm down 1,800 bucks. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about it. Surely I'll go ahead and post in the Discord later on $10,000 trades, $4,000 trades, $7,000 trades. I'm not worried about it, right? Now we get a bounce. It just, guys, you gotta, I don't know. I don't know. I really hope this really is making sense because I don't know if I become unrelatable in that fact where I really don't care I don't know. I don't know if I'm relatable in that fact, right? Because so many of you are dealing with like, the emotions on like, oh my God, I'm down X amount of dollars. Like, yeah, I do care. But I mean, I really don't care, right? The reason why I really don't care is because I have the indicators just telling me like, be patient. Just be patient, right? Don't freak out, Gabe. Don't freak out. Be patient. I have enough experience that tells me patience pays, right? Don't freak out, Gabe, right? The minute you start freaking out, the minute you start freaking out, guys, is the minute you start losing control. Once the market has you by the balls that way, where you start losing control emotionally, you're just done. Just yeah, absolutely done. Right? Confidence is key. Confidence in a strategy. It's putting those reps in to have faith in what you're doing. And this is another problem with retail traders is you go ahead and you jump in one strategy, right? You jump in one Discord and one strategy, and then like it no longer works for you, and then you just absolutely lose confidence. How do you lose confidence in something, right? When you've only taken 10 trades? That's not fair. Wreck It Ralph, we've talked about this many, many times. If you feel stressed or overexcited in a trade, just walk away. Like, I always maintain neutrality. Like, Wreck It Ralph, very, very good point. Emotions come from expectations not meeting the reality. Shankster says, choppy means very quick scalp day. If you know what you're doing. Or it could be, you're getting sliced and diced every which way. Got to be careful. So I'm chilling here. This is where things get boring. Wreck-It Ralph says, scalp the trend if you're going to scalp and chop. Absolutely. The trend is your friend. Up $786. Okay, now Shankster. $786. This is good. How many trades have you taken? Keanu the Goat says, chop means I wait. 20-ish trades. You took 20 trades to make $700. That's the fallacy of the trader, my friend. That is the fallacy of it. You just came into the chat. You just came into the chat, said, "Hey guys, I made 700, almost $800." But then you took 20 trades to do that. 20 trades to make $700? Bro, you're doing it wrong. You are doing it so wrong. I'm just letting you know right now. Right? Again, that is the fallacy that takes hold of us as traders. I made $800. I'm a good trader. Shit, bro, that is just way, 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 way too much. Right? Hey, Gabe, I tried a new prop firm that has same day withdrawals. I made 31,000 in profit, and in the process of taking it out, and made 2,300 today in pre-market and NQ. Good shit, man. Good for you. Good for you. Um, let's see. So, let's see here. This here. All right. I want That's a level there. Huh. I know you guys can't see my screen. I'm just like looking at something. So this is a level here, right? With NQ. Everything looks to be trending down. So since that's a level, I would probably go ahead, enter there, and then just use it as my risk, right? I have 14,989 all the way down here. Just let it go. Let it go. 720, 540. I'm going to go ahead and recoup some of my losses here. It's coming back on me. That's fine. I'm going with the trend, right? It's coming down. Just go with the trend. Granddad's cash made $28.90 on that drop. Good stuff. So, Granddad, you know, guys, this is so hard trading and streaming at the same time because I'm trying to talk to you and give you that eye connection and interact with the comments. But, Granddad, you nailed it, right? You had your entry right here. You were waiting for it. And Granddad just nailed it for $2,890, whereas I'm a little late to the game. So in being late to the game, I had to establish my risk. Okay, there you go. That's exactly what he did. It's coming out of the horse's mouth. Granddad's cash. Great stuff, man. Yeah, I don't know how STB does it either. But actually, STB goes ahead and says, fuck you guys, I got to trade. And then you just see him like real quiet. You're all watching. Let's see. Actually, that was a real text that I had to answer. That was a real text. Up 50% on SPY puts. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So back to the trade here. I haven't been able to manage it. I'm just going to go ahead and follow the overall trend here. Right. Again, just be patient. Let the trade develop. Just let the trade develop. I'll go ahead and probably protect my entry with a stop right there after. It gives me a little bit of breathing room. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and keep my finger on the trigger and close my position when need be, right? So here we go. Coming on down, up $1,000. All right. Ralph says when you get in late, like I did there, I'm looking at all indicators, right? But even when I got in, I still had my 4 check marks here. So up 930, 940, 735. Just it's flickering here. So what am I going to do? Okay. I see that there's some sensitivity there, and it's courtesy of this level right there, right? That's the level. RSI is pivoting up. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and keep my finger on this trigger here and just get out if I need to. Okay. This is basically going to be my stop. But it's let the trade develop. I'm going to let the trade develop here. This is boring, isn't it, guys? Chewy13, good morning, sir. Thanks to 1348 for making trading boring. John Cashola says, not really. It's, Daily Taylor says, I'm not bored. Well, I mean, it's boring, right? Just let this trade develop. 720, it's just fluctuating here. Yeah, boring is part of playing a very good game. Absolutely. It's kind of like chess. Kind of like chess, right? All right. I closed my position right there, right? I probably snuck out of there with $30 profit because it came right back. That was just me managing my risk right there. So now you got that bounce. I had the option to let the trade develop or to protect my capital. I chose protect my capital based on that candle. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a break above this level. When we get that break, I'm going to go ahead and take the entry. Okay. We got the break. I got my entry, and I'm going to play it exactly the same way. Immediately, I'm up $435, right? So what's happening here? I'm being rewarded. I am being rewarded for losing fast. I am being rewarded right now for losing fast. Up $705. We can trade this right up to the entry point. We knew this level here. We knew it. We saw the sensitivity there, right? But I was going to give it a benefit of the doubt and keep my finger on the trigger in case it worked against me. Now, I'm being rewarded for managing my risk, right? I'm being rewarded for managing my risk. Because I manage my risk, whether I made $30 or maybe even I just broke even on that trade when I exited. I'm rewarded with $1,000, right? And you're getting the rejection from the 200. The 200 doesn't have to tell me twice. It does not have to tell me twice. So I'm going to go ahead and close my position right there. Done. Close my position there. Do you guys see what just happened? Right? Because my risk was managed, I was able to be profitable. Be nimble. Be quick. Be nimble. Now, here we go. Now we have something interesting that could happen. We could then say, but wait, what if it breaks below this level again? What if it breaks below this level again? Well, I'll be there for it. So I'm either going to be there for it when it breaks this level and it comes right back down to the downside, right? Because, well, we got parabolic SAR, Heikin-Ashi, moving average trending down, RSI coming down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my sell stop right there and I'm going to wait for it. I am waiting for it. If it comes on down based on that rejection from the 200, right? If it comes on down and it comes on down violently, you know what's up. I'm going to go ahead and take my profits. But I'm not going to chase this candle. I'm not. I want the candle to come to me. So let's see what happens. The worst that could happen is there's a trade design to the upside, and then I go ahead and schedule my entry to the upside. Do I make myself clear on that? TMR, you're going to see, by virtue of having discipline, yes, I got out and went the other way. Gregory, you might have to go ahead and rewind to see that. The thing is that when you practice that discipline, what you're going to start seeing with with your trading journal or basically your stats, you're going to see that your risk to reward starts increasing. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Because you're managing your risk super, super, super tight, right? So the way I'm looking at this trade right now is it's not giving me any reason to go bull side with it. It's not giving me a trade designed to go bull side with it. It's not giving me any of that, right? But it's also not giving me the confidence to enter a pure short side, right? It's not. I could go short side right here and then this thing could just flat out bounce on me and go the other way. So I don't want to put myself to that. Basically, what I want to see is the market show its hand and I want it to come to me, right? I lose nothing if it doesn't hit my order here. I lose nothing, right? Can we all agree that because I'm sitting here waiting for that trade, I'm losing nothing? Losing nothing. Also, guys, we got a 1348 cross to the downside on NQ on the 5 minute. I mean, right? We got a 1348 cross to the downside. We got our ribbons coming down. You know, we see it struggling at that 200. We'll wait for the trade to come to me. NQ looks good to the downside, right, Tyler? I'm just going to wait for it to come to me. If it doesn't, it just doesn't. That's it. That's how you trade, guys. It's boring. It's just boring. I mean, trading's a job, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of us have jobs that are just like fucking boring. I always wait for candle close at the candle body at the 1348 cross signals printed. Yeah, yeah, that is following the rules. But what ticker are you on, Wreck-It Ralph? Because we got a 1348 cross on NQ. So I'm just waiting for it here. You see how much is struggling here at that 200. Look at that 200. Look how it's just struggling here. This, who would want to be in this area here? Right? Now, it broke the 200. Now it has to contend with the 24. But who wants to be in this area here? This shit is so indecisive. What I would like, ES has the same cross. Yeah. You're going to see that, guys. You're going to see NQ and ES look very, very, very similar, right? You got that same cross. Although with ES, I mean, this thing definitely paid, but much slower, right? It's much slower here. You are in this area here, this zone. Oh boy. I wonder what's happening with NQ here. I'm waiting for her. Look at her come. I'm waiting for her. And then I have this level right here. Hmm. We'll see. A lot of indecision here, man. A lot of indecision. Unfortunately, unfortunately, what a lot of beginner traders would do is chase the candle up and then try to anticipate the candle down for the sake of making money. Now, you might get a few trades that actually pan out that way and it works for you, but does that make you a good trader? No. If you're chasing candles, it never makes you a good trader. You're not a good trader if you're chasing candles. Okay, so we have a trade design to the upside here. Hmm, I'm not buying it. I'm not. I am not buying it. No. Now, why am I not buying it? You got your RSI moving average trending down, right? And flattening. That moving average is flattening. You can see RSI is just barely flirting with this. And you look at this candle, this Heikanashi candle. It's trying to go against the trend, but it's not doing so successfully. You got parabolic SAR saying no, down you must go. In this trade design, he only got 2 check marks, which means only 2 out of the 4 conditions actually are aligned here. Now we got 3. This is just chop right here. Absolutely. Chasing trades and chasing candles eventually is going to catch up to you. You guys do realize that over time, statistically, you will become a 50% trader. Over time. The question is, are you and your port still around when when the book balances on you? Are you and your port still around? I'm here. I'm here. Boring. Let's see. Okay. Things might get spicy. It might get spicy. Waiting for B setup on Tesla. Waiting for B setup on Tesla. Interesting. Let's see. Why are you waiting for B setup? What's Listen, why are you waiting for a B setup on Tesla? Why would you do that? Oh, by the way, guys, this is connected to my Tradeovate, so I'm not sure if I'm getting real-time data with Tesla because I am connected to my Tradeovate. Does that look like real-time to you guys? 221, 22162, 22163. I just have a CME, real-time data, so I'm not sure. Okay. I wasn't sure how that worked, right? Because I'm connected to my broker and I just have CME real-time data because I use TradeAvate for futures. So I wasn't sure how that worked. I wasn't sure if, TradingView then goes and, okay, we're good. All right, it looks good. Okay, just making sure. I wasn't sure how that worked. Going on over to how that, you know what I mean? It shouldn't matter. I don't know. Everybody putting their hands out for real-time data, so I'm just paying for real-time data everywhere. I'm paying real-time data on TradingView, real-time data on TradeAvate, like, what gives? But, going back to waiting for that B setup, why? That was your A setup, why are you waiting for a B setup? What are we doing here, bro? You're trending down. You're trending down. Damn you, I still have not. I still got this here, damn it. What the hell is going on? But we see what the overall trend is. This thing has been hitting its head against the 200 and that 1348 cross down with the red ribbon. Yeah. You got Heikinashi really thinning out right here. You see that? You see that is ooh. We're getting that white. We're getting white Heikinashi candles. Well, white for me is actually a red candle, guys. We shall see. Wreck-It Ralph brings up a point, right? Let's see. Wreck-It Ralph says, quit. Wait, how come I can't read this? What the hell is going on? All right. So it says, Wreck-It Ralph says, quit fighting the trend hoping for a big reversal. This is for traders that are better than me, not for newer traders, in my opinion. It's not for newer traders. It's not for newer traders. Reversals can cause emotional damage. I think we had talked about that, right? So when you're playing against a trend, you're separating yourself from profit much faster, right? You think about it. You're playing a reversal, so you're saying it's going up, but the trend is going down. When that happens, what do you think it's happening, right? It accelerates your losses. That's why you don't want to trade against the trend. Trading against the trend will accelerate your losses. At least trading with the trend, if you're wrong, you're still with the trend. So your losses are not as pronounced as if you were trading against the trend. You're just going opposite ways. Just think about, like, here's a great example. You're on a highway, you're going 65, the driver next to you is probably going 70. That separation isn't so fast, is it? No. But you see what happens, right? That distance becomes just massive when you're going opposite directions. And that's why you want to trade with the trend. Does that make sense? We see it every day. We're on a highway. You're doing 70, someone's doing 75. It's a gradual, right? But you're going with the trend. You go against it, just you're separating yourself so fast. And so that's what happens when you trade against the trend. Um, it, that's basically what happens. You separate yourself. Yeah, my order did fill. My order did fill. So, um, well, damn it. Nice. So my order filled. I waited patiently for the trend, right? This was my trend. The trend is my friend. I waited patiently and it came. I was up 500 bucks, right? So what I'm looking to see, well, everything sort of kind of like lines up, right? I'm just I got my order filled. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see by going with the trend if I make bank. I waited for the order that whole time and I was up as much as $550, right? Man, streaming and trading so fucking hard. I don't recommend it. It is so hard. Okay, up to 70, 105. Damn you. 90, 75. Damn it. Okay. So I guess while I'm in this trade and I have confidence in the trend and that I'm on the right side of this trade, what I'm looking for is a golden eye reversal and a trade design to the downside. Okay. Now, if this trade gets away from me, once again, I need price action to come on down so I can just define my risk up here somewhere, right? I'm not worried about the $500 or the $700. I'm being disciplined here. I'm being really, really disciplined here, and I'm trusting the trend. And it's giving me reason not to trust it, right? Giving me reason not to trust it, but I'm gonna hold steady here. I know the trend is to the downside, right? Oh, spies consolidating? Let's go ahead. Well, that's your C setup, buddy, right? That's your C setup. So let's go ahead and look at SPY while I let this NQ trade develop. Let's see what's happening with SPY here. You're consolidating right here at this level. There's a couple of things we're looking at. You're seeing RSI just like, ooh, RSI, ooh, this is right. Do have day lows created, I believe, by this candle right here, right? Ooh, okay, gotta go back to NQ. What's happening here, NQ? What are you doing to me? $90, $180, 255, 210, 270. Everything's trending down for me. Good. There you go. There goes that level right there. Once again, that level is my nemesis. Oh man. You guys remember we were here at one point, right? It's almost like deja vu. It's almost like deja vu. It's happening again. Now here's the deal here, guys. I get a break at this level. This is super critical for me because I get a break at this level. I am eyeing this down here at 14,989, right? There's gonna be about 24 points. Let's see. Here we go. This is interesting. There you go. You got your trade design to the downside. This could be, this is spicy. Here we go. I don't like this level here. This level, this is our second rodeo here, right, guys? This is our second rodeo here at this level. So, what I'm gonna do, this is exactly what oh, fuck. All right. You guys, when I was explaining what I was gonna do, and then like did it right when the candle happened. So what I was trying to do was just close my position in profit before that candle happened, and then set the condition because we have the trade design with the entry here. I was going to set my trade design down here, right? So this is where I would enter, and that will mean we get a break below this level. What I was trying to do is this is so fucking hard. I'm trying to explain what I'm going to do while doing it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm up $400. This will be easy. But that was my intention. Close the position, right? Really quick. Take that bag. Take some profit there. And then wait for it to break. Wait for it to break below this level, this entry point here, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. So once again, price action has no obligation to do as I want it to do. It really doesn't. You have no control over the candles, right? Chill Guy says he's green all the time since he found 1348. That's great. Vapor Up. Gabe doesn't understand time rotations. Look at the clock. I don't care about that, Vapor Rub. I don't care. My day is pretty much ending by noon. But I'm gonna add an extra element that really, I mean, all I'm doing is just trading a system. I'm not trading time rotations. Uh, I'm not creating cognitive overload, right? You don't create cognitive overload. You just trade the trade. So coming on down, or it's just holding here in that consolidation, right? So I'll be waiting for it on the other side here. Piano the goat, thank you. All right, so Vapor Up, I want to ask you something. How does time rotations affect my trade? I want to know how we substantiate the time rotations against my trade. I'm waiting. Hmm. Look at the hour and look at what happened at the end of each hour. Dude, that doesn't I don't care about the hour. I care about my time frame on a 5 minute. I'm here trading to trade. I I don't see that as valuable. It's a theory. It's a theory, right? It's not law. It's a theory. I just don't find it valuable. The algos reset each hour. Okay. Okay. Well, first off, what do you want me to look at, Paper Up? Right? What do you want me to look at? Do you want me to look at the 1 hour? I don't trade based on it, but it's valid. Okay. What are we seeing? You got me looking at the hourly. What am I seeing? Um. Okay. He wants me look at every hour. Right. You got a 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock reversal. Then let's see where we at next hour. Trending down. I I I don't I don't I know my order filled again. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever 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 uh had that as my consideration in my trades. It's just adding my indecision to keep having fears about hourly candles. I just don't see I don't s- I don't see it, bro. Like I'm just trading the trend and that's it. Oh, I'll notice that the best moves are during the close and open of the new hour? Why would I want to spend my time trying to notice that? That is I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't. Jump, 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 jump. Now, at noontime, will we see a shift? It's very, very possible at noontime you tend to see that shift, right? The volume gets less. Sometimes you start seeing, the candles start booming on small volume. Logan says, I love NQ. Everybody loves NQ. All I'm going to say is seeking validation other than what is like right in front of you, like just trying to draw correlations, right? It's theory. It's not fact. I like to trade based on facts. So what are the facts of the trade? Is it trending down? Yeah, right. It's trending down. Am I managing my risk? Yes, that's a fact, right? Um, am I breaking a level? Yes, that's a fact. I try to trade in facts. Eric Ma wants me to do all kinds of work for him. No. You must look at me as like one cheap, gracious hooker, bro. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Jesus Christ. That's no different than the dad asking me if 1348 is a simple enough strategy that they can leave their 10-year-old at home trading while they go to work. I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, really? You would do that? Like, wild, wild. Anyways, um, if you're scared you're gonna blow it up, then why are you trading? Like, okay, so Eric, Ma, I have to ask you, what what are you so scared of? Danny Mitch says it's called homeschool. No, but you don't put your 10-year-old to trade. They should be out there hunting Pokemon, not fucking working for you like you're some pimp daddy. Like, the fuck's wrong with Jesus? The 10-year-old should be out there playing with Legos and chasing Pokemon. KG4X says, I'm neutral trading. I'm trying to figure out how to buy and sell. Investopedia, buddy. Investopedia. Ah, man. Weeble options. Paper trade. Go ahead and paper trade and then navigate the systems. Watch the Weeble videos. I'm not Weeble tech support. I'm not gonna guide you through that. Um, Chameleon, what's going on? This market is boring and it is consolidating. This is boring, 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 boring. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Too damn choppy, no worthy setups. So don't chase any of it. Let's see. Adam, are you in a live stream? I think I'm gonna see you in about an hour for the one-on-one, right? Oh, that's Powell too. Oh, yay. Adam, if you're in the stream here at 12:30, we're gonna be trading with Powell. Rob Dell. Hey, Gabe. Good morning. When the trade design presents itself, is the entry point based on a level, or is it generated just on the risk to reward ratio based on the candle close of golden eye? Hey, our guy. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some Powell. Rapdale, it is essentially based on we're using some proprietary factors, but we're calculating like HER, basically volatility averaged out of previous candles. Then you got your trade design. It creates a trade design based on just some fun stuff, right? Some really fun nerd stuff. I'm not going to get into the details, but your entry point is based on averages or historical averages of HER and some other things that we look at. I'm always not sure when to exit, so my profit always stops at 8 to 10%. Orange peel. As if 8 to 10% isn't good enough. And I'm now profitable. I'm green. Just letting this trade develop. I am green. Yay. Yay. So I'm looking for, now we got this level right here. You guys, let me open this up. Okay, yay, up. I was up 900, $750, 615. I have this right here. Alright, 930 bucks. I would love to see a break through that zone. Just give me a break. Don't be a pain in the ass. If not, once again, my finger's right on this trigger here. But let's see. At least get me to a 1-to-1. It really doesn't like that zone. You raised your volume, still the same. Do I sound really that low, guys? Do I really sound that low? I don't feel like I should be sounding that low. Okay. Alright, so here we go. 3 contracts. Trade design level. We're in this zone here. Alright, up over 1,000. Good. Good. Okay. 1,100, 1,200. Alright, we're coming down to this level right here. You guys see that there? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. That's what I was telling her last night. It's coming. I'm gonna go ahead and set my stop right there. And that's it. I've managed this trade as best I could. Make sure that I'm in profit. And if I break below this level here, guys, I will go ahead and bring my stop down. But as it stands, I'm okay with it. I could go ahead and take my stop and bring it to the bottom of this box. We're halfway through this point here, right there. Up 1,600. Okay, we're managing this trade here. Okay, I'm bringing her down. Right there. There we go. 2,000. This is where things get exciting. Uh, right? This is where things get exciting. So, are we gonna break the 1-to-1? That was my target for the most part. Now I just have my stop there to make sure that I close this trade green. Either way. And I'm out. That's it. That's it. That was fun. So, cash account for options, yes. If you don't have over $25,000, you need to have a cash account. Yeah, it was a good trade. And I'm going to wait for it once again. Since I had my stop there and it stopped me out, right? Once again, if it comes down, it enters this trade and then gets me back down to 14,967. I'm okay with that. Okay, there we go, guys. Really quick profit right there. There you go. Right? This is why I say, guys, you want to go ahead and take your profits because your profits allow you to recalibrate, right? And so I took my profits and then set it up once again. You guys are now seeing this come down to the zone there. This is familiar territory here, so I'm going to keep my finger on the trigger here to close the position really quick. But all I did was set my limit. All right, there you go. I'm just going to take that profit real quick, right? I was just fucking around right there, right? But it came right back down. And it came right back up, but it came right back down. I was talking it out once again. Should have taken profits right here, right? Because that's the day low there. It is what it is. I mean, I think. Not that I feel, but you do have this level here. It would be great to take that trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a little bit of a retracement so I can go ahead and maybe enter it. Fuck you. You're not giving me that opportunity. So I'm not going to chase this, right? I'm not going to chase it. So what I have wanted is a little bit of a retracement back up here so I can set my order right here and catch it as it was moving down. It has room to keep on going, but maybe not. It got RSI already at 32.97. This thing has made its move. I mean, I would love to see a retracement back to the zone and then a rejection, and then I'd be waiting for an order here. I should have took those extra 500 bucks. I should have. And there you go. It's coming down for this level, guys. But that's it. End of live stream. I hope you guys learned a lot. Uh, 0264, how many trades should you expect to take? Maybe 3 to 4. 3 to 4, maybe 5 tops if you're just trading from 9:30 to about 12. Uh, Great, you guys are welcome. How many people do we have on the stream today? 164. Nice. Apple did it too. KP, have a good day. Now I got to deal with this morning headache. Oh, wait. Hold on, it came back. It came back. Hold on. I might not go. Hold on. I might not go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set my sell stop. Wait. Before we go, right? I have that condition that I wanted, right? So if I go ahead and get this rejection off this box, I am not losing anything, right? I am not losing anything by setting up this condition for the candle to come right back down, right? That is basically like my journal thesis, right? Now, if I went ahead and try to chase this candle up and then chase this candle down, guys, that's where you're gonna get. That's when you're gonna get like wicked out, chopped up, etc., etc. Why? Because you're living inside. You're living inside the candle when you should be living inside the stream. Excuse me, the moving average. Sorry, living inside the stream. Well, you can live inside the stream too, guys. Right? But I had a condition for myself that I was set up for this trade. I said right before I was going to kill the stream, I would like for it to come back up into the zone, and then I would set my order just in case it rejects, and then I catch it back down. Does that make sense? JMac, you're welcome. Now, let's say I do get a trade design to the upside, then I have conditions which I'm going to apply to the trade design to the upside, right? And say, okay, well, you're creating those if-then statements, right? If this happens, I take the trade, whatever, right? I don't want to keep saying it's simple, guys, because like Hot Potato says, Gabe, it's simple for you because you've been doing this for years. But I think, okay. All right, before I go, I'm just going to make this really simple. Or this is going to be my rant when I sign out, right? Hot Potato is like my right hand man right now, right? He's very in tune to, the struggles of a trader, and this is why he's helping me build out the trading academy, right? Yeah, sometimes we do this for so long we forget what it's like to be um, a beginner trader, right? So he'll go ahead and ask me the questions, and then it prompts me to reply. Just gives me PTSD sometimes, but all right. So end of stream rant. Here we go. When I say keep it simple, I mean keep it simple in that, like, I play the same way every single trade. And when I say it's simple, I also mean it's simple in that I don't go ahead and throw additional variables like 1 hour algo changes into my trading thesis. We keep it simple so that we can, over time, truly exploit the power of GoldenEye and truly exploit the potential and the riches that the markets provide. Now, when you come into the markets with the expectation that today, your first day, you're gonna get rich, right? It's always simple if you remove the indicators and just use levels. Well, it's really not as simple as that. But anyways, um, Vapor Up just a little hurt right now because I invalidated his 1 hour algo change theory. But we go ahead and we keep it so simple, okay, so that we can trade the same way every single time. Every single time, right? We have a trade design. We're aware of the trend. We trade with the trend. We know the difference between an A and a B setup, and then we know our levels. And then we create conditions for level entries and then just have faith in the system. When we start overcomplicating it, I'm in the middle of the trade and Vapor Up says, hey, Gabe, go ahead and look at the 5 minute and look at the algo changes. You're not considering algo changes, right? Well, the thing is I'm glad Vapor Up that I did not listen to you and I stuck with my trade and my system, right? And because of that, I made a shit ton of money. Now, if I would have allowed this fairly new concept, which you just brought to the stream, becoming another variable in my decision making, you're throwing me off my game. I can't be thrown off my game, right? I mean, would MJ let trash talking throw him off his game? No, he played the same way every single time. Kobe played the same way every single time. Those guys played like goats. They were there to be the greatest basketball player on earth. There was nothing you could do to derail those guys, right? They had their methods, right? Phil Jackson, Triangle offense had his methods. It was successful over multiple teams. Stay consistent. Stick to your guns. Trade your plan. Don't go ahead and willy-nilly and be like, oh my god, like this candle's freaking me out. Let me go see what's happening on the 1 minute. Let me go see what's happening on the 3 minute. Let me go see what's happening on the 15 to 30 to 4 hour, the daily. Right? Okay. So here we go. I have a possible entry here. You guys see this trade design right here? So that means that this order that I had down here based on this condition is now invalidated. I go ahead and cancel that. So we have an entry here where that entry also happens to be at the 24. We also see that the 200 is right there. Right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and if this trade design is going to hold true, I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, well, this 24 is too restrictive. So could this 48. We haven't gotten an entry on the trade design. Let's go ahead and say, okay, well, if you break above the 200, right, I'll be waiting for you. That's it. Simple, right? That's all I'm doing here. And I'm playing it the same way each and every trade, right? I'm getting context of my levels. I'm getting context of, the possible trend, right? We have RSI breaking above its moving average. We have Heikin-Ashi candles here. We got the 3 check marks there. What we need are some parabolic SAR printing underneath these Heikin-Ashis, and that will give us our 4th variable. And once again, you could go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to be waiting for you right at this entry. But now I have to contend with the 24, I have to contend with the 48, and I have to contend with the 200. I want to try to stay away from all this noise, right? And what I have here is, instead of contending every 3 or 4 ticks, I then put myself in a position to go ahead, if I enter here at the 200, right there, instead of competing through the ticks here, I now give myself a possible 9 whole points. 9 whole points. And yeah, I remember, Powell at 12. I remember Powell at 12. The thing is that if this trade gets fulfilled, it gets fulfilled, and I would just have to go ahead and manage it, right? Do we see it getting fulfilled at any point in time? Right now, probably not. But what I'm showing you guys is in practice, whether Powell talks or not, if you look at your entry point and where your possible rejections are, you don't have a lot of runway. Whereas if you waited past the 200, you have 9 points of movement. Does that make sense? I truly hope so. I truly hope so. Truly hope that makes sense. I also have another condition which I can make, right? And since this is a free zone down here, how many points from '07, 1507? Whoa. There's a lot of points right there. Wait, and did I say that was 9 points? No, that's 20 points. That's 20 points from here. No, that's 20 points right there. 20 points of freedom. Here, if I get a break here, I'll go ahead and my sell stop. I'll wait for it right there. Now I have my 2 conditions met. Because I have freedom on the other side of this, right? And with that freedom on the other side of this, I could potentially play it back down to 14.98525. I've literally set up my conditions. It has no obligation to fill me here. It has no obligation to fill me here. But whichever direction it chooses, I want to make sure that I still have some freedom. Oh boy. There's a level right here too. It's oh boy. Okay. Let's see what it wants to do. All right, you got the break of the, okay, you got that boom boom. Now you got the break of the 48. Do I think trading has made me numb to other parts of life? Absolutely. Absolutely. It has. It absolutely fucking has. So what you guys see here on the chart, and I was gonna get off, and then I saw an opportunity here which made a whole lot of sense, but also allowed me to illustrate a lesson here, right? Wreck-It Ralph said, "Trading didn't make me numb to other parts of life. Other parts of life made me numb to trading." And you know what? It could go both ways. You know, it's question is what came first, right? Chicken or the egg? But I don't know. You are required a certain type of personality as a trader, right? If you are a person who lacks confidence, just in general, you're gonna lack confidence in trading. If you're a person if you're a highly analytical person, right, you're going to go ahead and you're going to overcomplicate trading for yourself. Um, if you are an overly optimistic type of person, you're probably teetering on the side of almost being a gambler, and that's also going to show in your trading. Um, if you got bills to pay, it's going to show in your trading, right? If you're stressed out, it's going to show in your trading. Your trading is really going to magnify who you really are. 100%. 100%. If you're greedy, trading is going to magnify it. Um, so yeah, you know, sometimes I think for a lot of people, sometimes they're so focused on they're so focused on a lot of beginner traders are really so focused on like the intricacies of the trade. But then they forget what they have to do with their lives. You know, and sometimes you could make such a big difference in your trading performance if you just improved your lives. And in fact, someone who goes ahead and makes the effort and shows the discipline, right? Someone who shows the consistency to actually change their lives, those behaviors will translate very well into trading. I'll give you a great example. I have an uncle. Many years of drug addiction in and out of jail consistently. right? And that person back then, if just coming out of jail and just knowing who he is and that he didn't put the work into his own life, if he came to me and said, "Hey, I want to learn a trade, let me borrow 10 grand." I would say no. Well, this man, now 12 years clean, um, owns quite a few sober homes. If he came to me and said, "Gabe, I want to learn trading," he has a nice resume now. And I would say, "Bro, like, let's do it." Yeah, I would say, "Bro, let's do it." You have to you have to be able you have to be able to iron out those indifferences in your life before you come into the markets and think that the market's gonna fix your life, because that shit ain't true. It's not gonna fix your life. In fact, all it's gonna do is magnify your problems. Let's say you come into the market and you just hit it big. Let's say it comes naturally to you and you just, oh man, you flip 100,000 to $1,000,000, like whatever the fuck, whatever it is, right? If you still don't got your life problems like figured out, it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. It just creates more problems, absolutely, right? And then, you know what ends up happening? It's happened to me. If I could be candid with you guys, it's happened to me where, being a young man, I was just so consumed with making money, right? So fucking consumed with making money. And, I had to battle depression because of it, right? Because what started happening was that I was using my money to influence. It was for power. I was able to influence women. I was able to influence other people. I had this just really screwed up perception of myself. Like, you know, became this cocky, arrogant fuck. I'm gonna be honest. This is a much younger version of me. The much younger version of me, I really, really had this mindset, and I think I've said it way too many times in my youth, right? Um, I had the mindset that if I don't own you, I eventually will. I literally had that elitist mindset, right? Because I had this newfound power, this newfound influence, right? I had this ability to change people's perception of me. I had this ability to put a smile on somebody's face, right? I had this ability to maybe change someone's life in a matter of a second, meaning an oversized tip, right? And I get a high over that, knowing that I had that much influence and power, right? And then you just start feeling fucking empty. You feel empty. You feel lonely. You feel depressed. You start wondering why people are around you. You start, questioning like how much happier, you know, this money should have made you, right? Because that's what you're thinking. You're thinking like, if I had this money, where would my life be? What it would do? I'm telling you, man, if you don't got your life figured out, that money is just coming, not gonna mean a fucking thing. It's really not. It's really not. Right? Then you start becoming isolated. Then you start not trusting people. You go from having so much power and influence on people that then you stop trusting them. Can you imagine that? Like having that influence on your family, it's, it's thick. It's actually disgusting. Um, okay, it looks like that trade hit to the upside. I'm filled. I'm filled right at that 200. How did I fill that emptiness? You know what? I'm still on that journey, if I could be honest with you. Filling that emptiness, I'm still on that journey, right? Um, that was one of the reasons, like, oh, well, this is cool. But working with you guys, knowing that I can pay it forward in some sense, right? And I'm still working on that. Hey, Wreck-It Ralph, good point. Being kind to others. And I think anybody who is truly close to me, that I've let close to me, will know that I am probably the biggest hearts out there. I used to give my life to everyone else, but now focus more on what I need. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, right? Nothing wrong with being selfish. But yeah, that trade hit differently. Remember we had our conditions, right? That trade hit differently. You guys saw it there, made 600 bucks while I was just like ranting with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close that trade. I'm done. And that was just proof of concept, right? We got the proof of concept there. You guys saw it. All right, now I think I'm done. I think we've shown enough examples of like how I trade and why I trade, and basically how it becomes profitable. All right. I guess that saying is true, right? Um, that saying is true, right? Make the money, don't let the money make you, right? But don't ever fall into the fallacy that making money makes you a good trader. Just like don't fall into the fallacy of making money and buying people makes you a good person. There's so many fallacies that are connected with money, right? That money will buy happiness. In some instances it does, in other instances it's merely a tool. There's so many fallacies surrounded around money. And then like when we're in a market, we're playing a money game. So you have to bet your ass that there's a million and one fallacies that are baked into this game that we play. All right. Stay safe out there, stay humble. Signing out. We're done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you trade like a pro. Peace. Yeah, wait. Damn it, I wanted to record this stream. I guess I wasn't recording it. Just so caught up just doing the lesson. But legendary.